And my oldest brother and his friend, my oldest brother's named Chuck, and his friend Mike, said, hey, that's a great idea. So they went in and got a card table and put it out in front of Mike's. The Stuckey's house was directly across the street from our house. And so they put out a card table and went inside, and sure enough, Miss Stuckey had some Kool-Aid, and so they whipped up some Kool-Aid in the pitcher and got some little paper cups and came out and had the Kool-Aid stand. Made them a sign and everything. And I was like, hey, man, this is awesome, you know. Can I sell it? Can I make a change? Can I pour it? You know, I was trying to do everything. Nah. Finally, they just said, you know, go on, just go away. We don't want you here. It was my idea. But, you know, okay, in all fairness, I'm only 6. They were 12, so they don't want me. So I went to my middle brother. I said, hey, Daryl, they did this. Why don't you and Derek, why don't y'all do a Kool-Aid stand too, and I'll help you. Hey, that's a great idea. So they went in, and sure enough, the Stuckey still had some more Kool-Aid. They don't tell how much Kool-Aid they went through that day, but they had some more Kool-Aid. And so they made some Kool-Aid up, and they got a cart. They had another card table, and they went on the other end of the yard and put their card table there. And they had their stand. Seemed like it was like a quarter a cup, both of them. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to show you guys. That's right. And I said, hey, can I pour this? Can I? Nah, go away. You're too little. So that's the second time I got bumped. It was my idea in the first place. So I went across the street, went back inside, all upset. Told my mom I was crying. What's the matter? I told her what had happened. My idea for the Kool-Aid stand. And then I got the short end of the stick twice. I got booted out twice. She said, I'll tell you what we do. She said, we'll set up you a Kool-Aid stand. They were both across the street on each side of the yard. They said, well, you can set up one. My mom said, you set up one in our yard, and I'll make you some popcorn. So she did. So I had Kool-Aid and popcorn. Well, now, there was no such thing as microwave popcorn back then. You made popcorn, it was an ordeal. You had to, put it in the pan on the stove and put the oil in it and pop it. You just didn't do that. So she popped all this popcorn, put it in these little bags and everything. She told me before I went out there, she said, now, they're going to want you to be part of their little business. Don't do it. You stay by yourself. I said, okay. She had me primed and ready to go. So I said, I was just laughing because she knows my mom. So my mom's pretty smart about stuff. So she set me up outside. She put my little Kool-Aid stuff there, and she put my popcorn out. And it must have been the funniest thing to have seen. If you have driven through that neighborhood, you saw this great, capitalistic venture going on where you got 3 competitors, 2 on one side. And I'm sure people kind of figured out what was going on. But it was hilarious. I'm telling you, I stayed out there like 3 hours. I made a ton of money. The mailman stopped. All the neighbors stopped. I think my mom called her friends, really, because we just happened to have a lot of people that drove by that knew me. And my brothers were over there sitting there watching me, and they're like, hey, why don't we all do this together? Come on over. And I'm like, nope. I'm done on popcorn. The Charlie Chip, man, I bet y'all don't know about Charlie Chips. Anybody in here know about Charlie Chips? Yeah, they used to deliver potato chips, if you can believe that, in these big metal cans. Charlie Chip. And so the Charlie Chip man came by. And the funny thing is, see, I was 6, and I don't remember what we were, I think we sold them for like 30 cents or something to get popcorn and Kool-Aid. And people would come by and they'd give you 50 cents, and I'd say, well, I don't know how to make change. And they'd say, okay. And so I was making 50 cents a pop on 30 cents worth of stuff. Man, I had it figured out. And I just made a killing that day. And both brothers were dying to get me to come and help. But you know what? It was too late. They had their shot. And I made a bunch of money that day. I never will forget that. It was funny. But they took me for granted. These great ideas I had. Got to be careful about that. I still have too many ideas. But we do that sometimes, right? We take things for granted. You ever heard the phrase, you don't know what you got till it's gone? And we can do that. We do that with God sometimes. We take God's blessings for granted, right? It's easy to, when things are going bad and you're having trouble, boy, that's the first thing you do. You want to go pray about that. And then the problem gets taken care of, and you want to, boy, some of us even, we remember sometimes to thank God. And, oh, thank you, this is great, you helped me. And then we just tend to forget about God when things are going well. There's an interesting little passage here in Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verses 10 through 12. Then it shall come about, when the Lord your God brings you into the land which he swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give you great and splendid cities which you did not build, and houses full of good things which you did not fill, and hewn cisterns which you did not dig, vineyards and olive trees which you did not plant, and you eat and are satisfied. Then watch yourself that you do not forget the Lord, who brought you from the land of Egypt out of the house of slavery. It is real easy to forget about God when things are going well. And if you really think about it, in our lives today, they're going pretty well. In relation to other people around the world, certainly in relation to people throughout history, even in this country, we got it better than anybody in history. We do. We've got things pretty well. We got clothes to wear, food, we got homes. Doesn't mean we don't have problems, but there's not many of us that wake up in the morning worried about food. There's not many people in this country that do, really. I mean, we kind of take care of each other here. God blesses us every day. We don't realize we take it for granted. I got a call last night. My brother had to go back to the hospital. He's having some problems with his, fluid on his brain, and he had to go back to the hospital. And I have to tell you, it's not a good thing. I'm concerned about that. But man, we've got tremendous medical science that can take care of stuff like that. This has been, 50 years ago, he'd have been dead. And it's not very pleasant for him, but they're taking care of it, and they can do that. I had, what was it, 8 years ago? I had a pacemaker put in my heart, keep it beating. I'd probably be dead now if I hadn't done that. It wasn't pleasant to go through. But what a great advantage, what a great blessing to have people who know how to do those types of things. It's real easy, when bad things happen, we all want to run to God and say, oh, help us out, help us out. But then when things are going well, it's easy to forget about God. And I'm convinced that sometimes that's maybe why I have to go through some difficult times, because really it's for my own good. It's better for me to go through a difficult time and be close to God than to have everything going great and forget about God. It's better for me. I think God knows that. We could all sit around and talk about our problems. Everybody in here can make a list of things that are bothering you or issues that you got. And some of them are legitimate. Some of them are serious things. But if you have to go on the other side of the page and you list all the blessings that God has given you, there's no comparison if you're honest about that. So take a little bit and let's, don't forget God when things are going well. When you're having your best day, you didn't have any trouble that day, you didn't need any help with anything. Remember that God is in control of all things, that God blesses you with good things. Remember what He's done to put you in a position where you are, to enjoy His blessings. Don't forget God in the good times, because He's there. He's there for us when the times are tough, but He's equally there when times are good, and He wants us to come to Him and to build those relationships. That honors Him when we do that when things are going well.